Hey guys, we are going to be going over the most overrated pets in Grower Garden, but for some reason everyone wants them. So let's get into this. First thing is going to sound a bit crazy, you guys might disagree, is going to be the mimic octopus. Yep, the mimic octopus, with the 1% chance of getting from, what egg was it again? The paradise egg, which is insane. Must be thinking I must be crazy, but hear me out. So basically, if you're a beginner and you have only mid pets, like I don't know, like a pterodactyl or something like that, or you just got a bunch of common eggs and the first pet you get is a mimic octopus. What's the mimic octopus's ability? It mimics every 20 minutes, mimics and copies an ability from another pet and performs its ability. So if you're a noob and the first good pet you get is a mimic octopus, you only got a dog or a golden lab, it makes the octopus just like the golden lab or the dog, so it's really useless at that point. So that's why mimic octopus, only for noobs, is mid pet. But if you pair it up with a dragonfly or a butterfly or a raccoon, like that's when it's really good. But in general, damn, my shoes are dirty. They are awful for noobs. The second most overrated pet is the Petalbee. And you must be thinking, why the Petalbee? If you guys don't know, its ability is so trash, and it's a 4% chance of getting from the egg. So if you see on the bee egg, it is one of the most hardest ones to get. 4%. It's honestly insane. On the page right here, every 25 minutes, flies to a nearby crop and applies and pollinates it. If you look at the normal bee does every 25 minutes, flies to a pollinated crop and applies pollination, and it only gives a 1% chance for a flower type crop to stay harvested. So it's so bad because it's like a really bad ant, because ants have like a 10% chance of giving you a duplicated crop when you harvest it, but this doesn't even give you 5, 3 or 2, bro. It gives you 1. Harder it is to get a Petalbee. It's a 4% chance. It's lower than its chance inside of a bloody egg. And also, the only reason it might get a little bit better now is just because of its cosmetics. It does look really cool. I do like the look of it, but the fact that it only pollinates, not even better than the honeybee. The honeybee is better. It does it every 20 minutes. Okay, this is 25 minutes. I don't understand how that's a 4% chance of getting. But guys, if you look in the egg shop over here, they have officially removed it from the shop. So as you can see, there's no bee eggs in the shop anymore. It might increase in price because of the rarity. There won't be much bee eggs in the game anymore, so there is that. But it does look cool, but honestly it's very mid, just because it's the same as a bee and everyone's got a bee. Next, and the next most overrated pet is going to be the red fox, and you must know why, because all it does is steals, let's double check. Every 8 minutes, it duplicates a seed from another user's plot. If it successfully steals, it will try to steal another one. So I think they've increased it, because it used to have a thing where it had a chance of stealing, but I don't know if I think it might be guaranteed now. But right, let's look at my neighbor's garden over here. So they've got hive, dragon fruit. Dragon fruit is so mid. Hive is okay. And what else? They've got mango trees, kind of mid. So you see, especially if you're in a public lobby, like you don't want a cactus, or you don't want a coconut tree or stuff like that. And 1.5% chance of getting, and you're not able to get event seeds from it, like bone blossom or stuff like that. And if you're in a public lobby, you're just going to get very mid, especially if you're in like over here, there's not too many crazy ones. Like you can't get this moon melon. If you could get moon melon, that'd be insane, but you can't get that sort of stuff. You can't get the limited stuff, so there's no point of it. You can just buy it in a shop or AFK overnight, or get a stock checker, and then you'll just get the seeds that you can get from a fox. It's like someone wants something, I can see in the top left of the chat. It looks like they want a bone blossom. Because they're asking nicely, I definitely will. Cool. Alright, after doing that, okay, so what was the next one? So the next most overrated pet is going to be the bear bee, and I don't know why they added this. Actually, I mean, it's just because its ability is so bad, and it's also good. The only reason it's good is because of the fact they've made it like discontinued for the honey sprinklers, but I think it's inside the traveling merchant shop, so it's getting a little bit more rare to get the honey glaze sprinkler. Yeah, this guy, all he does is he puts honey glaze on things, but if you got a honey sprinkler, it literally does it instantly. But this guy, he takes how long? He takes 23 minutes to put something honey glazed, and it's not something targeted. So if you wanted to put honey glaze on this, I just used a honey glaze sprinkler. But this guy, you have to wait for him to do it for 20 minutes where oh, there he is. But the only reason I like him is just because of the aesthetics again. Like, it is cool looking. And let's look at its ability. 5% chance of getting, and every 25 minutes does honey glaze mutation. That's so bad. It doesn't even pollinate. At least this one pollinates, but man, it's crazy. Like, it would be nice if it pollinated and honey glazed, but it's not a bee, so it makes sense. But yeah, it's still a cool looking plant, but because they discontinued the bee egg, it might be good in the future. People might just want them because it's more rarer now. Okay, and for some reason, this is insane, but I don't know why. This next bee, I always see billion trillionaires with it, but I don't see why, because the next most overrated pet is going to be the snails. And what do the snails do? Let's see if I got one. I highly doubt I will. I would definitely throw it in the machine. Yeah, I don't have one. Okay, so let's look at what they do. So if we look over here, you get a 30% chance of getting them from the bug egg, and the exotic egg, 40% chance. So it gives you a 5% chance per harvested plant to drop a seed. Let's say I was up to this bone blossom and I'm just constantly collecting and collecting and collecting. Like, yeah, I'm going to collect this bone blossom right here, and then you'd get a seed. And honestly, yeah, that would be insane if you could do it with a bone blossom. But guess what? It limits you from doing it from event seeds. It would be really, really good if you could do it with bone blossoms and stuff like that, but you can't. And if you can't do it with event seeds, then you're just going to be doing it with coconuts or mangoes or stuff like that. So it's kind of bad. I don't know why they have that, but ooh, I thought I just saw something very micro from that. Okay, well, I can't see that anymore. But yeah, so someone's going crazy in my garden. That's interesting. But yeah, so sunflowers, I mean snails, they're so mid, but I don't see how they're useful. If you guys think they're useful, please explain in the comments below, because I don't understand how it will be useful at all. I can't lie, my server is looking crazy with these massive sunflowers, or whatever you call it, sun blossom thing. But yeah, I think this one's also very, very mid. If you guys think there is any other overrated pets, make sure to comment down below. If you guys like this type of content and find it useful, please make sure to like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys watching, and bye bye.